You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Scott, I'll tell you, that's one of those moves where if you are a defense attorney and in the first 3 minutes of that video you say, dog, we need to plead. we need to plead. I ain't got nothing.
Cases like that.
That's why you say Johnny Cochran not gonna get your ass off.
Going.
That's when you say Matlock not gonna get you off.
Hey, you going, buddy?
What was the other dude? Perry. What was
Mason.
It? Huh? Perry Mason, bruh. We need to go ahead and just wrap this up. and when Bruce Castor got up there, he was sitting there going like, the birds are flying over and the sky's blue. It's a gorgeous day. I'm glad to be with y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna say. That's pretty much how I interpreted the defense of Donald Trump.
It was inexcusable. You know what's interesting is I counted. This is their 7th group of lawyers for Donald Trump. That's the first thing. Second of all, they came in at the last minute, right? So they haven't had a whole lot of time. But you don't need a lot of time if you got a videotape and you want to argue constitutionality or the lack thereof, or you're going to argue the fact, or you're going to argue both. They did neither today. They had this incoherent argument that said Nancy Pelosi rushed this through, even though he was impeached while he was president. But then after she rushed it through, they said they didn't have enough time to prepare and that constitutionally this was inappropriate, even though Donald Trump was impeached when he was in office. And the Constitution says the Senate has jurisdiction over all impeachment matters. So if you impeach and then you run the clock out, the Senate still has to do its conviction or its trial to either convict or not convict.
Well, and the thing about it is that, and this is the piece here, the Supreme Court has also ruled, this ain't us. Y'all are the Senate. Y'all are to decide what's constitutional or not. You are to decide if guilty or innocent. That is not, the Constitution clearly allows for the Senate to decide that. And then when they say, the Constitution says high crimes and misdemeanors, it doesn't specify, which means that Congress can actually determine on its own accord what they constitute as a high crime or misdemeanor.
Well, if there was ever a crime committed, you know, it's a federal offense to incite a crime. You know that, right? And incite a crime at the Capitol is a separate category of offenses. And so you certainly have a high crime and a misdemeanor, a high crime and a felony. That's the first thing. But Roland, if you ever look at Article 1, Section 3, which they didn't really get into, right? It provides specifically that one of the punishments by majority vote of the Senate is that you can no longer serve in office. And so once you are impeached and you are convicted, you're no longer in office. And then the Senate can then vote to banish you from public service going forward. It's right there. And what's amazing about the Republicans is they are the strict constructionists. They are the original contextualists. I mean, this is not a living document. The Constitution is what it is. The founders contemplated everything. And now you saw them looking at their tweets in their papers, on their computers, completely ignoring these realities of contextualism. And now all of a sudden, they're just going to do jury nullification and ignore it and say, listen, I'm going to go with it. It's not constitutional. While the Democrats ran this video showing Trump and showing the Trump's worst bad actors. It was like a rally of theirs that we've been telling them about for 4 or 5 years on steroids, right? You saw why they were there. You saw what they did. You saw them attack democracy in the Capitol in live color, in living color, and it is atrocious and absurd that the Republican senators, 44, voted to argue that the Senate did not have jurisdiction, let alone voting no eventually or possibly to not convict him. I think they're going to convince them otherwise. They may not get to the 17, but that video that you're going to see a lot of this week, that's a powerful piece juxtaposed with Trump there giving the order to go to the Capitol.
Absolutely that. All right, Scott Bolden, we surely appreciate it. Thank you so very much, and we'll see the comedy of his defense tomorrow. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.